Hey, I'm Mark Gilfix from Gilfix and the Pole Associates. I want to talk to you about the power of Dynasty Trusts, or as our firm calls them, Family Protection Trusts, how they work, and why you want to put them into place. I'm going to give you a simple sketch to show how the traditional estate plan is structured and how you can add a family protection trust, generically known as a dynasty trust, to protect assets for over 100 years for future generations. So the typical estate plan, you start with a living trust. Everybody needs this. Mom and dad need to set this up. There are different structures of living trust. That's the subject of other talks. Now, let's say mom and dad have one child, and I'll use my parents, Michael and Myra, and me, Mark. So Mike and Myra, and me, Mark. And we'll say this is me. Very weird drawing of a person, but they can leave money directly to me in their estate plan. That's traditionally how estate plans are set up. Mom and dad have their living trust. They leave money to their child or to their children in whatever shares they want. I don't recommend that you do this. And our firm, Gilfix and the Pole, typically doesn't recommend that you do this. And 90% of the time, now there's of course special needs planning issues. If you have a child with a disability, you need a special needs trust. That's a different subject. We have other videos about that. But if you have a child who you just want to protect, we're going to protect assets for them, you should not leave any money to your child. Not a penny. Nothing should be left to your child. That's how you can protect assets. Instead, you create a family protection trust. FPT, as we call them, is generically known as a dynasty trust. Now here, for me, I would recommend mom and dad leave money and assets. That'd be your home, that'd be savings, investments, whatever you want to leave to the next generation. It should not go to me. It should go to a family protection trust set up for my benefit. So it's not like it's not staying in the family, but it's left to a trust for my benefit. Now, why would I recommend that you do this? 3 big benefits. By leaving assets to a family protection trust, there is protection, 1, against divorce, 2, lawsuits, a high level of protection against lawsuits if I'm ever sued, 3, estate taxes. So by leaving assets to a family protection trust rather than directly to a child, these 3 benefits are achieved. There's a high level of protection in case your child ever gets divorced. If they inherit those assets directly, typically over time they commingle them with their spouses, their future spouses, their current spouses, and if they ever split up, a huge chunk of what's left for your child lost in a divorce. If you ever sued, assets in your name, totally reachable in a lawsuit, right? 3, when your child passes away, everything you leave to them, if it's directly to them, is exposed to estate taxes, plus the future growth. Future estate taxes could be brutal. We don't know what they're going to be in 10, 20, 30 years, but it's very possible that millions of dollars could be lost, even if you don't have a large estate. Family Protection Trust, Dynasty Trusts, protects against this. By leaving assets to the Dynasty Trust, it's never commingled. So if your child gets divorced, the assets are separated. So it's sort of like a prenuptial agreement. 2, if your child is ever sued, there's a barrier. Someone has to break that trust structure to get to that money. And that's difficult. And that creates a strong deterrence against lawsuits and high level of protection for assets in case your child's sued. And estate taxes, hugely beneficial. All of the assets in the Family Protection Trust, well, there's some limits, but they're very high limits. They're not part of your child's estate. So your child might not start off with that much, but during their life, that money might double, triple, quadruple. By the time they pass away, it could be many millions of dollars more than what it started at. If it's in a Family Protection Trust, most, if not all of that, is protected from estate taxes, potentially saving hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. And these trusts last for around 100 years in California, meaning you're not only protecting your child, you're protecting their future children and even their future children, because this Family Protection Trust continues for multiple generations. So you need to understand Family Protection Trust, generically known as Dynasty Trust. You need to have your own living trust, but don't leave anything directly to your child. Instead, leave it to a dynasty trust for the benefit of your child. Your child can even be the trustee of the Family Protection Trust, or you can also name third parties to oversee it for them. That's the subject of other videos as well. So set up the Family Protection Trust for your kids. If you have 2 kids, you'd set up 2 Family Protection Trusts. If you have 3 kids, you'd set up 3 of them. But Those trusts extend for multiple generations and for as many grandchildren as you have or will have in the future. So such a powerful planning tool. Set them up. If you have any comments, questions, thoughts, leave them in the comments and we'll try to get to as many as we can. Thank you so much for watching. Follow us, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.